This one's to the wives and to the girls that are in serious commitments with your guys. Check his phone, check his social media. She's on there. The girl that's holding a candle in a flame for him, or vice versa. She's on there somewhere, and he's probably stalking her, keeping tabs on her, making sure that she's still on the hook. Let me tell you a few stories. So I had this high school sweetheart who ended up breaking up with me because his sister didn't approve of me. Even though we had a great relationship, we were really close, his family pretty much didn't approve, so I had to go. Well, we ended up reconnecting like close to almost 10 years later. And, you know, all those feelings were kind of still there. I could tell they were still there, even though neither of us really ever said anything right away. Fast forward 5 years later, he ended up marrying someone else. And that was pretty hard to watch. But, you know, I wanted him happy, you know, if it wasn't going to be with me. But we still stayed friends. And I later found out my ex, when he hacked my phone, he targeted this person. And they had multiple inappropriate conversations. And I didn't find this out until after I threw my ex out and I got my phone back. But it took a lot of hindsight, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe my high school ex participated in this. I thought he was such a different person. I thought he was a different man. I thought he was a really good husband. That was what he was portraying on his social media. And when we had conversations, they were nostalgic, but they weren't inappropriate. So yeah, I ended up cutting ties with this guy. I wrote him a long letter about how I felt. What I felt, I finally told him how I felt about our breakup, how I really felt about it, how it was shitty, and how he mistreated me in that breakup. And how I shouldn't have held a candle for him based on that alone. But it took me so many years, like 20 years, to figure that out. And then when I really saw that he was willing to have an emotional affair behind his wife's back, it just made me see him in a whole different light. And my feelings changed. I didn't feel like I could have him as a friend anymore. I didn't feel safe with him. And I didn't feel... It just felt icky, knowing that he was married. That wasn't fair to her. I'm someone who I'm really strong about justice and setting things right. And so, yeah. 2 other guys I held a candle for. These are little shorter stories, but both of these guys, I dated them all in high school. And one of them, I ended up looking up later, and he ended up soliciting a minor when I looked up his name. He had a public record. He ended up soliciting a minor. I'm like, oh my gosh. This was someone who once came to my defense when another guy hit me. He actually beat the crap out of this guy. And so I kind of always held him in high regard because of that. And the next guy, he's actually the guy I lost my virginity to, who cheated on me and took another girl's virginity. That's just the kind of that way that guy was. Awful. But not that I was holding a candle for him, but I was curious. I just was curious how that guy turned out, because he was just a bad seed all around. But I ended up looking up him too. I just gotta share this because it's just like, wow. The things I escaped, I'm so glad that I did now. But he had a public record that he had put his hands on his pregnant girlfriend. I'm like, oh my gosh. So yeah, you can be holding a candle for these guys, and they can literally not be the men that you think they are, or they're not the men that they were anymore. But if you're a wife, check your husband's phone, check his social media, because chances are there's a girl on there somewhere he may be having an emotional affair with, or worse. So don't be naive. Please, don't be naive. Okay, Phoenixes, keep rising. Bye.